Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, October the 4th. To my right, I've got a good friend, Michelle Marshall, Dr. Michelle Marshall from Harton's Animal Hospital Northeast. And Dr. Marshall, you are here today to tell us about a very special event coming up on October the 8th. Now, this is something that you've been a part of for how many years?
7 years. This is our 7th year. It's
the blessing of the animals. And I just think it is such a wonderful, beautiful event for people to come to with their animals, because it's an opportunity, first of all, for the animals to get out and socialize, and you realize that they are creatures of God also, and they're getting their blessing there. So what's going to happen that day?
Well, we have it in our outdoor worship area, so we always hope that we have good weather, and then we do have a special guest this year. Becky Pearson from Puppies for Parole will be our special guest. And what is Puppies for Parole? It's a program through the correctional system where they have dogs that are in shelters and rescues around the state come and live with the inmates for usually 4 to 8 weeks. And they work on them with like basic commands, socialization, and get them trained to where they're more adoptable, and then they go back to the shelter and get adopted.
And I would imagine that this program is always also very good for the inmates too.
Right, yeah.
Because they have the companionship of a dog that is giving them unconditional love and attention, perhaps something that they have not had in their life before then.
Right. Yeah.
So the dog lives with them for how many, eight weeks or so?
It's usually like 4 to 8 weeks. It kind of depends on how they do in the program. Once they graduate, then they send them back to be adopted. And
it makes the adoption easier too.
Right.
So this will be one of the topics that'll be covered. But then the most important thing that day is that each animal will be individually blessed by your pastor.
That's true.
And are you doing the same thing where last year I believe you had us write the names of our beloved animals who have passed on a piece of paper, and then what did you do with that?
We put them at the base of a statue of St. Francis of Assisi, and then we can say a prayer over them. And
I thought that was very special too. All right, so it is the blessings of the animals on Sunday, October the 8th. Where?
It's at Broadway Christian Church here in Columbia. And
what time?
3 p.m.
3 o'clock. So if you start getting there around 2:30 or so. And if you have cats, you might want to, even if your cats fit well in your lap, you want to make sure you bring a carrier along.
It's probably a good idea because you don't know how rambunctious the other animals may be.
Exactly. But everybody that I saw there, all of the pets were very well behaved.
Yeah, we've been lucky with that.
Yes. So. Okay. And we do hope that we have good weather. Thank you.
Thank you,
Dr. Michelle Marshall from Harton's Animal Hospital Northeast. And she's my veterinarian. Good. She knows all of it, taking care of all of ours. Now, Adam Saunders is with us. The Harvest Hootenanny, and your event is coming up the day before the blessing of the animals.
That's right, October 7th. It's a Saturday. That's going to take place right there at the Urban Farm, which is a block south of the business loop, right off of College. But our main entrance is off the corner of Smith and Fay, which is our southwest corner.
And how much land do you have there?
That is about 1 1/3 acres of Urban Farm. This is our 8th year in production, believe it or not. And that is used to grow food that we take to local food pantries, but also provide education for kids and people of all ages, because we all eat, right?
Right.
And we can all do more to connect with food and eat better and eat seasonally and be involved in it. Even if it's one tomato plant, that's a connection to agriculture. That's a good thing.
Right. And the garden this year was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good year. All the food this year we take to the food pantry. It's a goal through Planting for the Pantry that we've been building towards for the last 5 years. We started small and gradually took a higher percent, but this year 100%.
And so 100% went to the food pantry.
That's right. So we're estimating by the time the end of the season, probably somewhere around 15,000 pounds of produce donated
that's
this season.
A lot. All of that from 1.5 acres of land.
And really what we have in production is closer to about 2/3 of an acre, because we have educational areas for kids groups that come, and the event itself, the Hootenanny, we have live music and games and all this sorts of stuff.
But wait, you're getting 15,000 pounds of food out of that small plot of land?
Yeah, we do an intensive vegetable production that has a high rotation, so as soon as we clear a bed, we plant it right away. So we get a lot of produce, and it's really good soil that we've been building with compost every year, and it's surprisingly productive.
I am really impressed. We were pretty pleased several years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. We were able to bring about 3,000 pounds of food in to the food bank from our plot of land, but nowhere near 15,000 pounds.
Yeah, we had about 1,000 pounds of spinach just in the first quarter of the year.
1,000 pounds of spinach?
Yeah, January, February, and March.
You could put 1,000 pounds of spinach in this room.
That's right. It's a lot of spinach.
It's a lot
and
of
so
spinach.
if you garden at home, this is a great place to see food production take place here at the Hootenanny, but anytime throughout the year. So if you've not been to the urban farm before, I encourage everybody to come out there and check it out.
Okay.
Because it's a beautiful place. It's in full production. And we've got a great meal. One of our partners, the Columbia Area Career Center, their culinary arts program, the students, the high school students in that program, not only do they cook and serve the meal, but they come out and they dig the sweet potatoes and harvest the greens, pick the tomatoes and the peppers and all that to make this big meal.
So the Harvest Hootenanny is October the 7th. Is it all vegetarian then?
No, we've got all that. We do have vegetarian options, but we have burgers and bratwursts and chicken and a bean burger, apple crisp.
How much money are you hoping you'll raise?
Oh, we'll find out. But we have tickets available. You can buy them online. If you go to columbiaurbanag.org and look at the Hootenanny tab, you can buy tickets in advance or at the door.
Okay, all right. So that will be, it's the Harvest Hootenanny, October the 7th. Again, what time?
It's from 3 to 8 p.m. there at the urban farm. Come in the corner of the Smith and Face streets.
And what time will the meal actually be served?
We'll be serving entirely the whole time from 3 to 8.
So you can come anytime between 3 to 8 p.m.
That's right.
But if you come right before 8 o'clock, you're probably going to be out.
We'll see. Well, we get good 1,200, 1,300 people there in
You're
years
kidding.
past. So I anticipate if we have good weather, we can
12
have
to 1,300 people.
That's right. Everybody eats, right? And
Right.
so everybody loves a good meal. So this is a nice Missouri-raised meal. Celebrates the end of the season. It's a good
All
thing.
right. Adam, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Paul. Hope to see you
Fascinating
there.
talking with you. And then we will see you back here in November before your next special
That's
event.
right.
Okay.
Look forward
Got
to
it. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the Greenbelt Land Trust and Mature Living Festival. If there's something you would like to hear or see, I would love to hear from you. Just drop me an email. That's pepperp@missouri.edu. And if you're going to be out and about, you might try to be nice to each other, okay? And don't forget the blessing of the animals and the Harvest Hootenanny this weekend.